But Jesus said to them, they don't have to go away. You give them something to eat. Now, this is a great lesson in not getting ahead of the Lord. Not thinking, I got it all figured out, because I miss a lot of things. Years ago, when they were first testing supersonic aircraft over Nevada desert, a pilot in a jet doing a supersonic dive, he shot several rounds from the jet's cannons. It turns out they weren't traveling at supersonic speed. And the jet outran the missiles that it fired and ended up shooting itself down. I was like, oops, talk about getting ahead of yourself. That's what happens to me when I get ahead of the Lord, and I do very often. I can shoot myself down spiritually with my own logic. The disciples' reasoning here was completely logical. It's deserted, it's late, too many people, they got to go away. What Jesus is going to teach them here is that reliance upon him, faith in him. And this is the first really act of faith by the disciples here. Faith in him is not always logical. That's why it's faith. At least not in a worldly sense. It's totally logical to him. I can't forget God has infinite resources at his disposal. That's why I'm told to trust in the Lord with all my heart and not lean on my own understanding in Proverbs. Instead of telling Jesus, this is what you need to do, instead they should have said, well, what do you want us to do? One encouraging thing in this, as I read this, is that unlike the people of Nazareth, where Jesus could do no mighty works because of their unbelief, unlike that, when it comes to his followers, he'll still do mighty works in spite of my unbelief and my failure. Knowing it's my desire to believe. Jesus, I want to believe. I want to help me in my unbelief. And if that's the case, then I got to accept the fact that I'm going to be tested, just as these disciples were and are. I'm going to be put in impossible situations if I truly want to grow in my faith and trusting in Jesus. I'm going to be put in situations that are beyond my control. It's the only way that trust can grow. It's the only way I'm going to be able to trust him more. Not when I got it figured out and now I trust Jesus. It's like it doesn't work that way. It says here, Jesus tells them that in verse 16, they don't have to go away. You give them something to eat.